Ooh, blue.
You blew, baby. You blew. Hello, hello.
What's up, Mr. Harvell?
Hello.
Hey.
Just another manic Monday.
How are y'all?
Oh, good.
Good. How are you? Hi, Teresa. Hi, Mithelin. Hello, Monique.
Who's that flipping cowboy?
Mark Ware.
Oh, he just wanted to make sure his profile picture was up for a couple seconds before he popped in, so everybody could see it, right, Mark?
Dude, Roy, I like Ryan Stenick's background, but it's flipped.
I need my hat.
Does it show flipped on your screen?
Yeah.
Oh. That's weird.
Cameras on, baby. Out. Papers out. Ready to hit the ground running because we're going to move it. Hello, Lori. Woo-hoo. Wait a couple more seconds. We got some people joining us.
Drop out real quick.
We do. Hannah Brown. What? Hannah Brown.
What's up, Hannah Brown?
Aha.
Look at this rock star right here.
Frankie. I saw Joanna.
What's up, Joanna?
Becky. Hello. All right, we got a lot of stuff to get to.
What's up, Frankie? Look at him strutting. Let's let a few people jump on. We got a few more minutes.
Strutting. Who all's going in YKO?
I want everybody to say hi to Joseph right here. Joseph just jumped on right here.
What?
What's up, Joseph?
Joseph.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
Hey,
Joseph used to be on our team, and he's jumping back on the court in a week and a half and going to rock the business with us. Just got off the phone with him.
Rock it, baby. Keep on baby. Keep on rocking it, baby.
Ready?
Baby. You told me to wait a couple more minutes. I was ready. I was ready to rock. Abby. Galaxy. Your name show up, and it's like Galaxy phone. Galaxy phone. All right.
And Rhonda, we're still trying to work out those tickets to figure it out.
Okay. I might have one.
Trying to work it out right now. Let's see.
We're
We have two somewhere.
Yep. All right. Lisa. Okay.
Someone's big dog.
Big dog.
Jeez, on my knees. That dog's got a voice.
It won't let me associate website name. They won't. I put my username in, B1979.
Okay.
And I can't fetch my username. Forward.
So just put
Just put it. Yep. Just put it.
sorry.
Just put it over there.
That's okay. Let's see.
Sorry. I gotta get off this call. Let me mute this.
Just watch it before you put it away. Okay?
Oh God.
All right, I'm gonna mute us all out. We're way over.
I don't know if anyone's actually looking.
You gotta go, dude. All right. The part where I love the power, you guys know it. Yeah, I do. Mute all. You're muted. Bam.
Okay, 1 second.
No, I'm
Okay,
mute.
go.
Hey everybody, welcome to ICBSU Team Express Business Zoom. We are so super excited. I am Debbie and that is Jeff. BB, in case you don't know, otherwise known as Bam Bam, but I always like to take credit for half of that Bam. Okay, so tonight we have a few things that we're going to go through, and when I taught on the Playing the Field with the Pros call this morning, I said if you're getting on our Zoom tonight, cameras open, cameras open, cameras open, and I'm looking around, I'm looking on here, and I am fired up because you guys got cameras open, and that makes me fired up and happy. Now, I also said, get your pens and your papers ready because we're going to practice 30-second stories, right? So we are going to practice that, and I am going to talk about it. But first, I have a couple of announcements, and then we're going to roll right into it. I am fired up. Which announcement? Go through first.
We're just so excited right now. The team growth is crazy right now. This rally thing.
Y'all are crazy, is what I heard.
The rally.
I said rally.
It's just creating momentum. But today we've been working with some team leaders that are just flipping, rocking and rolling. And I see two of their smiley faces right now.
You
and,
do? Where are their smiley faces?
And a lot of you guys know on the rally.
Shiny,
So I
happy
just want to give a
people
huge
holding
shout
hands.
out to Frank and Dee. Where you guys at? There they are, right there. They're our newest flipping directors in the house. They hit it today.
I am unmuted. You're unmuted. What do you got to say, Frank and Dee? What do you got to say?
I'm gonna let her talk first.
Okay.
Go, Dee.
Go, D. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm super proud of Frankie and the hours and work he's been putting into this, and just really like committed to this and committed to the people that he's helping to create into consultants, people that he's got using the products, his clients, the world. He's ready to take over, and I'm happy to be here next to him doing it.
Okay.
He's ready to take over.
Okay, Frankie.
He's
what you
ready.
gotta
He's
say?
coming. Watch it.
Go, boy, go.
She's saying me, but it's us, man. And like, I got to give Dee credit. Like, she's a pillar in my life, you know, just like you guys are, and a lot of other people that are just holding me up in so many different ways. You know, I am just so excited. I think there's 3 or 4 of our consultants that are on the line. That to me, that means so much because, you know, we've been putting the work in. You know, we've been pouring belief into people that, you know, so many people don't express how much they care and how much they love each other because the way they grew up. And I just to have this opportunity just to pour straight truth, you know, and belief into their life and watch them grow. That it's, you know, we have 2 kids, and you know they're making us better parents and better people for this planet. And the ripple effect, we had a conversation in that ISA rally group, and you know, someone mentioned how if Debbie and Jeff didn't do what it took to be strong and fight for their family, that we wouldn't have this opportunity today, and the dream would have died, you know, a long time ago. And I got to thank everybody on this call, because you just don't know who you're about to touch. You know, today I was on a phone call with someone in Georgia, and then Florida, and then, you know, the Twin Cities, and all over the world, and an opportunity that we get to plant these seeds and watch them grow. And we will pass away, and that thing will just keep going forever. And there's more than what, you know, the products we're putting in our bodies, guys. There is just such a great opportunity to change this world. You know, the news is everything negative, but look at this call, everything positive. And this is where you got to be. This is what changes the world. We equalize it and make it better.
How cool is that? But anyways, thank you for those words, and congratulations, you two. Director's in the house, and he says he's already on a mission, man. He didn't even stay on the phone. He's like, dude, all I need is 4 more. He goes, I'm gonna get them today. 4 more. I'm executive.
There we go.
He's on it. So, and you know what? Just congratulations to everybody else on here for showing up. And you know, we not only we got a 100-pound club on this call. We got 80 pounds on this call. People that have just rocked this nutrition program and just changing their life. So appreciate each and every one of you guys. And so there it is. We just wanted to recognize him. And if you just want to give a shout out, not real quick, on your newest consultants, if they're on here.
Myself?
Your newest consultants just now. Give them a quick shout out.
So Abby, Joanna, Maria, I want to give them some big shout outs there for doing what they had to do to really change their lives and start the whole residual process. Like now they're going to experience money like they've never experienced before. They just put the pedal to the metal and watch their teams grow with their help and their love. So yeah, I want to recognize the 3 women right now that are just killing it.
Nice, great
Let's
job.
take over the world, ladies.
Okay, that's right.
I love it.
All right,
Okay.
Miss Bam Bam's gonna take it away.
All right, so much, but I've got to get back to Frankie and Dee. I have to say this. because let's acknowledge, Dee, you know, you being a pillar, and maybe you're seeing Frankie make the phone calls, but I know when you're in a household and a couple and kids, that it takes the whole team to make it work, to make the dream work, you know? So I know that, and I don't want you to be underappreciated. Not by Frankie, he's not gonna underappreciate you. I know he's got you, but I just wanna know that I see your greatness because, like he said, you are the pillar. So everybody on this call deserves to know that when you've got a household going on, it's more than just you in a household, everybody in the household gets credit for whether they're making the phone calls or making dinner, right? Everybody gets to have credit because it takes the whole team to make the dream work. So I appreciate you, Dee, and Frankie has to say one more thing now because I triggered something.
You totally did. But for everybody out there with the couple, like, she does send me a lot of leads. And half the time, or I got to say 90% of the time, she's already told them to cut the, you know what, and to get to listen to her husband because he changes lives and how her life has changed too. So, you know, Dee's already like prepped them and send them. So I got to tell you, like, you know, power up, you know, power up your couples.
Power up. Twin Powers Ignite or something like that. So congratulations, you guys. That's really exciting. All right. I want to go on to a couple events. Tomorrow night at 6 p.m. PST, we have our Difference Maker, ISABESTU Difference Maker Zoom. Everybody's invited. Team, you have to be there. You have to support your team who is putting out their 30-second stories to help you with any prospects. Give me a different word than prospects or guests. Give me something else. People that are taking a look at what we have to offer, whether it's better health, healthy aging, performance, weight release, you know, kids, like whatever it is that somebody's searching for, wealth, we have solutions. We are a solutions-based company. So we had started, Christina Potter, I'm not sure if she's on yet, but Christina Potter started this last week for our team to do a Zoom, picking people in the different categories to give their 30-second story and help us involve more people in our life, our friends and our family that maybe aren't in. But if your friends and family are in, invite them too. Everybody deserves to jump on this call and hear stories and collect stories. And that's why we're going to be talking about 30-second stories tonight. So we've got that tomorrow night. That's put up everywhere in all the feeds. And then I want to talk about University in Action is David T.S. Wood. If you don't have your tickets for that, they're going to cut it off at a certain number amount. Find in the city next to you. You can go under events in your back office where that's going to be. Get your butt there. Get your butt there. Get your team there because he's going to even drive home more the effectiveness of 30-second story, how to talk about the comp plan, and then just change it. It's going to change your life. I got to tell you, that event's going to change your life. All right. So there's that event. And then there's, they changed the name of, I wanted to say ISABESTU. What's it called?
Team Express.
No, I've got ISA Rally and ISABESTU in my mind.
Difference maker.
No, shush. Wait, who's got me? Somebody's got me. Let's see, who do I got? Stephanie, you got me. What's it called? I'm gonna unmute you.
Isogenics Academy.
Thank you,
Nice.
because they just changed the name of it. Thank you. Isogenics Academy will be somewhere near you.
Put this down. You can poke me.
Well, then you just better be careful. Get your blocking skills better be fast. Okay, so they changed it this year just to kind of give it a go and see if this is better. Instead of like 2.5 days, they took it to a 1 day. They're going to cap it at 300 people. You're going to want to get your ticket. That's where you're going to have that nice little camaraderie. You're going to meet some of the top leaders. They're going to talk about products. They're going to talk about how they do business or any new information on business building that they have. It's a really great way to grow yourself and grow your business. So I want to talk to you about that, or I wanted to tell you about that. And then who's going to NYKO? All right. So NYKO will not have a live stream. Will not have a live stream. If you have a ticket to NYKO, 7 days after, you can have, what's that called? On demand. You can have on demand, but they're not going to be filming everything that goes down. So hopefully, if you're not going to NYKO, then this is going to make it so important in your soul that you don't miss out next time, that you won't miss any other event. because we're going to miss you guys, and you'll miss us, and you'll miss all the energy. So make sure that you get it in your book, get it in your planner, that you have all your events in first, and then you can plan the rest of your life around all your events, because those events are your business meeting. And if you're very serious about building your Isagenix business, then these are a must. There's not even a negotiation around it. So there you go. There's that. And lastly, at NYKO, we have our team party or team meet and greet, if you will, on Friday night. I think it's 6 o'clock to 7:30 in the Hyatt Lounge. And that's where everybody's going to come. And please come meet us there. We want to meet everybody. And if you have a difference maker hat, if you have been gifted or earned a difference maker hat, on Thursday night, right after the ISA talks, I want you guys to meet us right at the entrance, and we're going to take a team picture with difference maker
Is that where we're
hats.
taking our team picture with our shirts?
Nope,
Okay.
just the difference maker hats. Okay, so if you've earned it or you have one, it was gifted to you, then meet us there. All right, now, 30-second story. Everybody got their pen? I'm not going to jab you with it. Everybody got their pen? All right, got your paper? Okay, I know that most of you have done this before, right? Good, I love it. Thank you, Justin. I love that. I love seeing that. I'm gonna move this over. I might share my screen in a second. All right, I'm gonna have you at the top of your paper. We're gonna do 4 parts, but don't number it because you might be rewriting and rewriting and rewriting. But number 1, I want you to write down, what is your background? And if you're Isagenix full-time, what was your background? I want you to write that down. What was your background, or what is your background right now? Well, I guess you didn't lose your background, right? What's your background? All right, I'm gonna give you a couple seconds, like really dive in, think of some special stuff. What are you doing?
I'm looking.
You don't get to have control.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes, can hear you.
Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Hi, Maria.
How are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. So by the way, I'm in transition right now. So if you hear a lot of commotion, my apologies.
Okay, I will just mute you out if I hear a lot of commotion. Did you have a question, or did you just join us?
No, I just joined. Well, I became a consultant 2 days ago.
No,
All right,
no. I mean,
that's powerful right there.
Yeah,
Boom, that's
she's
it.
I was on the floor last night.
no, I meant, did you just jump on the Zoom?
Oh yes, I had trouble getting in. Yes, I did.
So do you
Nice.
have a pen and a paper?
I don't.
Okay, get
Hold
in.
on. Let me get in the car and let me get a paper and pen. 1 second. Huh?
That's our newest.
Perfect.
That's our newest
That's
consultant
Frankie's
in the house
newest
right
consultant, you guys. Woo woo! All right, Maria, I'm gonna mute you out, okay?
Okay, mute me out.
I'm muting you out. Pen and paper.
there. Love it.
Oh, that turns me on. All right, so you all wrote down number 1, what your background is or was. All right. Number 2, quit moving my mouse. You make me nervous. Number 2, what you didn't like or don't like about your situation. So pretty much probably your background is your job, or what was your job, right? I want you to write down. And even if you love your job, because I loved my job, there were some things that I really didn't like about it. So I want,
Can you guys see me? I'm in the dark. I'm sorry.
that's okay. That's okay, girly girl. I just have everybody muted out while we're doing this little work thing.
So you can hear.
Okay.
Good. So try
I
and
can hear you.
and write in the dark.
Do you guys have a little light?
Okay. I don't know why I can't mute you, Maria. So
Okay.
you have to mute yourself. I don't know what happened there.
Okay, hit the mute button, Maria,
Yeah.
on your phone.
All right. Now, number 3. Here's what you're going to do. Number 3 is, I found a solution. This company is Isagenix. And I want you to write, what is it that you like about it? What is it providing you? And or I've never been more excited 'cause.
Can you show them that?
I'm going to show them that. But for my A types like me, I don't want them moving ahead of everybody.
Number 2, Deb, sorry.
So number 1 was, what is your background? Number 2 is what you don't like about what you do or did. And number 3 is you found a solution and you're so excited about, or what is it providing you, and blah, blah, blah. And then we've got one more.
I'm sorry. I'm getting in and out of service here.
Okay.
Is there a way that you?
Oh.
You. Hello.
Hello.
We love her.
Okay.
Love this energy.
All right. So
I'm going.
number 4 is how you feel about it so they can relate to you. So how do you feel about it?
Okay.
Your pain or what you found, you're creating a vision of hope and inspiration on number 4. So when we've done this in the past with Isagenix 30-second story, the ending is, and now that I've found all this and I'm feeling amazing and blah, 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 insert your thing, right? What you're going to say is, now I'm so excited because I now get to, and then you would fill in the blank there.
I don't know, there's 30 other people.
All right. How we doing? We good? Because I'm going to call on people to share. And the reason I'm going to call on you is this. David T.S. Wood is going to call on you too. But I'm going to call on you because it's really great to get uncomfortable. It's so good to get uncomfortable, because in any situation at any time, somebody could need your help, and you got to talk to them, and your palms are going to sweat, your armpits are going to sweat, your heart is going to race, and you're going to be, I don't want to, blah, and then you got to, right? You know you have to. And the more you get used to being called on and just showing up, because we say that leaders go first, right? Leaders go first, the better you're going to get at what you're doing and how you're serving people, all right? So everybody's got pinned down? Everybody wrote? Yes?
No, we missed it.
All right. I am going to go with Mark Greer first. So, Mark, you're unmuted.
What you love or hate about what you were doing.
That's, yeah. No,
What
hi
you love
everybody.
about Isagenix.
Yeah,
I don't know, I guess the last one.
my story was I was an ex-pro athlete. When I finished playing football, it led into a corporate executive position. So I was a corporate executive for nearly 20 years, and I was making good money, but about 4 years ago, my health really suffered. I'd made some choices that meant 50 odd plus years of age. I wasn't where I wanted to be, definitely not physically, mentally and financially. So when I looked at all the options with 15 odd years left to work in, I thought, how am I going to get to where I want to be? So then Jeff Beebe 12 months ago reached out to me and said, Mark, I know you're struggling a bit health-wise. Just get the products into you and let's just see what happens. I don't care what you do after that, because he's just a caring soul. So I did that. And wow, after 2 weeks, my health just started to improve. I had more energy. I was losing weight. I couldn't believe it. So I said, okay, Jeff, I'm looking for a solution. And now I've found it with Isagenix. So I started building. I see my future. The income's growing. And I get to help people, which is very core to me with something that's health and wellness in body and mind. And so now the more people we help, the more we get to where we want to be and the more that they get to improve their life. And so the future from here is just so exciting. I get to help people on a daily basis, and it's helping my family. It's helping me. I'm feeling amazing. I have so much energy and just loving what I do. So, if, how's your goals? How are you? Where are you in your life?
Nice. Yay! Thank you, Mark. Woo! Like a pro. All right, I'm going to mute you out. Let's see. Okay, hopefully y'all were writing, because, Mark's probably got part of his story memorized, but hopefully everybody's writing, even if you have your story memorized. And remember, don't be in comparison mode. Don't do it. All right.
You dip into your heart. That's what you do.
Yep.
Then it's easy.
Yep. All right. I'm going to call on Jackie next. She's like, oh, I knew it, right?
I knew it. I did.
You go. You're muted. Go ahead. And
I'm unmuted.
if you have to read, it's okay. I'm having you do this exercise for a reason. So if you have to read what you just wrote, that's okay. We're good with that. All right, Jackie, let's hear your story, baby.
All right. So my background is I'm a stay-at-home mom. We've been perpetually low income. You know, I do own a small business where I do a lot of Renaissance fairs, and it takes away a lot of my energy. And I'm overweight. I've been overweight my entire life. So what didn't I like about my situation? Okay, so the lack of energy, you know, the lack of money, the always being sick, you know, and I didn't have the energy for anything with the kids. I didn't have the energy to stay up with my husband. I didn't have the money to go anywhere, do anything type thing. So that was what I didn't like. So what I really like about Isagenix is I had this goal for a while, because I do genuinely love helping people, and I wanted to become a life coach eventually. And I'm finding that the Isagenix training and reaching out to people and helping them with their goals, be it health goals or whatever, is helping me become better in that area. And I wasn't really a people person when I began this either. And I'm starting to, you know, albeit slowly, but reach out to people, connect with more people, actually get some genuine conversations and friendships growing, you know, and I get to reach out and I get to help other people in my same situation, you know, losing the weight, getting healthier, having more energy. You know, my kids are on the products now. They love the stuff. And how do I feel about it? Well, I'm super excited because now I get to spend more time with my kids. I made it to just about all of my oldest football games and band competitions this year, which I couldn't do in previous years because I had no energy. I didn't have the time. I didn't even have the money to go to them. Like I couldn't even scrounge up like $4 for a football game at some point. So I'm building and I love where I'm at now. And I know it only gets better from here.
Awesome.
And
I know that was a lot longer than 30 seconds, but I'm working.
And in that story, how much weight have you released?
Over 80 pounds. So I'm hoping to hit
Yes.
that 100-pound club before my birthday, and my birthday's on March 16th. So
yes, perfect. Thank you,
yeah.
Jack. So guess what? That's going to lead us into our next person that I'm going to call on because she has released 100 pounds. So Hannah Brown, who is going to share her story tomorrow night on that Zoom that everybody can invite guests. Hannah Brown, you're next, baby. Let me see. Do I need to unmute you? I got you. Unmuted you. There you are. Hannah Brown.
Hey, y'all. My background, I've worked retail since college. I'm a high manager in retail in a high volume store. I work crazy hours. Nutrition school. And I was exhausted mentally, physically. My legs hurt. I love my job, but I couldn't perform to what I needed to. I didn't realize how bad I felt.
And then they went to me.
What I didn't like about the situation, I was miserable. And I couldn't be there for my associates the way I need to. And couldn't perform at my job. When was it? April 2018, a friend reached out to me and it changed my life tenfold. I'm happier, healthier, more energetic, getting better about telling my story because it's kind of hard. I feel that the ISA community has changed my life because y'all have been there for me since day one. And that's the biggest thing about being on this nutrition program. The nutrition's absolutely phenomenal, but the community and the support that you get, that helped me lose the 100 pounds. And I'm at about 120 pounds. I've gained some since the holidays, But I looked at myself in the mirror the other day, and I told myself I was a badass. And it's okay. My dog looked at me like I was crazy. She's like, Mom, why are you talking to yourself in the mirror? But I gave myself that pep talk because the old Hannah would be like, oh, you've gained 8 pounds. You know, you're going backwards. But I'm not. I'm just going forward. And how I feel now, you know, I'm inspiring the world. I remember the first time somebody told me that they were following my story and that I inspired them. And to this day, I will never, ever, ever forget that. And it's just knowing that me, who used to be 348.9 pounds, is inspiring people. It's just, it's the most phenomenal feeling in the world. So that's what I got for now.
Woo-hoo, that's great. Oh my gosh.
I can't wait to see everybody.
I know. I cannot wait. Oh, I'm so excited. I can hardly wait to get to NYKO. All right, I'm going to mute you out. Okay, now watch this. I'm going to coach y'all. I'm going to have you look down at your piece of paper, and I am going to ask you to rewrite. I'm going to ask you to rewrite. Now, some of the stories could drive us to tears. And you know what we do? We think we need to hold them back. What I really want you to do in number 2, I want you to really dive in. What is it that you didn't like about your situation? Because that's where people are going to connect, is with the pain point. And so, Hannah, you said, and you're muted out, so you can't talk back to me, ha ha ha. But Hannah, you said you were miserable and you couldn't perform. But I know there's a deeper level to that. So instead of just throwing out, I was miserable and I couldn't perform, I want you to go deeper. I want you to dive into that and go a little bit deeper. That's what I really want you to do. Jackie, you said, overweight, didn't have energy and sick. I want you to dive deeper, go deeper. What's the next thing that you can say? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you guys do that. And my first person up is going to be Kayla. After we come back. Oh, I'm glad she was muted because I think she just said a word. But you guys, dig into that pain, because I remember when I did this and they had us rewrite and rewrite and rewrite. It was like, I was in fitness and nutrition and I love my job, but what I didn't like about it is I couldn't duplicate myself. And so I was only getting paid for whatever hours I worked. Really? So what? Who cares? How about I was so injured and I had to have back surgery. There were 2 years that I barely could live my life. Like I dove in, I don't want to give you all that right now, but I had to get into what I really didn't like about it is how injured I was, and that it really compromised my living. Like I really had to get in so people can connect to the pain. So that's what I want you guys to do. Rewrite number 2. What is the pain point? Because again, Isagenix is a solutions-based company. So we can help with pain points. All right. So while you're rewriting and rethinking that, number 2, Kayla, I'm going to unmute you. Oh, I can't. Oh, there you are. You're unmuted. Kayla, I'm going to have you do your 30-second story.
All right. Hi, everyone. So there's different stories I can go into, but before Isagenix, I was a customer in the film industry, and yeah, I had no college degree. I was probably at my rock bottom as far as I hated my body. I had no self-worth, no self-confidence, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with my life. And wait, hold on. I need to restart that. I gotta
restart.
Okay, so let's tap into what I felt at that time. Okay. All right, so before Isagenix, I was a customer in the film industry, working 70 to 80 hours a week. I literally thought that was going to be my life. being told what to do. Basically, there was no appreciation for the work that I've done, and pretty much anyone that could throw me under the bus, they did. I had no college degree, and I was at this place like, what am I going to do with my life? And I got started with Isagenix because I was at that point in time, I focused on my health and my weight, and I was 98 pounds. I knew I was going to gain the weight back because of the yo-yo diet cycle that I had, and little did I know that I had disordered eating patterns. And it wasn't until I started actually using the product and not having to think of everything that I put into my body. I just had to use the system, figure out what meal to use. I don't know why I'm overthinking this so much.
Dip in your heart, girl.
It's okay.
Like, yeah. So I feel like I'm still going through it. Sorry.
No, you're good. I appreciate you and your share, because your story, you have a few of them. We all do that have been Isagenix for a while.
Overthinking it too much.
Yeah, you're okay. You're okay. So what I know of Kayla is, before Isagenix, Kayla was in the film industry, and she was a costumer, and she was working like Jeff. She worked a lot of hours, and it's crazy. The sleep deprivation, the underappreciation, you're being told what to do, how to do it, and you're not in charge of your life. What I know about Kayla is Kayla has tried to take control of her life so many different ways. And like Kayla had said, she had some disordered eating. I'd never heard it put that way. That's a quite interesting sentence that you had put together. Disordered eating habits. Is that how you
patterns, habits? Yeah.
Yeah. So
I thought they were normal. I thought that was my normal, like the binging, the starving.
Right.
Finding each diet.
And being
one thing for the next.
98 pounds, and are you 5'6"?
Yeah.
So 98 pounds and 5'6", what Isagenix has done for Kayla is it has allowed her to have the nutrition put in her body. The system has allowed her to have a normalish eating pattern without having to focus on the food, which when you focus on the food actually throws you into those disordered eating habits. So she fuels her body now with Isagenix nutrition, and it keeps her as nutritionally and as healthy as she can be at this point. How am I doing?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Right. Okay. And what she found with getting healthy, what she found with that is that, you know, a lot of people in the world like to body shame either way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Heavy, large, or super skinny. People like to body shame because our society doesn't know any better. And so it is now Kayla's mission to build a business with Isagenix. Because of the solutions that it offers, she can now build a business, be in control of the amount of hours she works, be in control of the amount of money she makes, and help people throughout the world that are having disordered eating habits. How'd I do?
Exactly.
Good job, Kayla Debbie. Good job, Kayla Debbie.
Kayla and I are very close, and I know a lot about Kayla, and she knows a lot about me. So I just wanted to help you out. And do you see the tears now? I didn't put her on the spot to make her cry.
No, it's just, I know exactly.
Right?
I know it, you know.
Yeah. And
you and I get each other.
Yeah, and she's open about this, but this is what I'm asking. Now, not everybody maybe has something that's going to make them cry, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm asking you guys to tap into your heart. I'm asking you to tap into your heart when you say, what it is you didn't like or what was going on in your life. Get real, because that is what's going to draw somebody in, because they're going to go, oh my gosh, I felt just like that, or I had this going, or my parents have this, or so-and-so has this, and they need to talk to you. And then at the end, tap into your heart again. I am now so fired up because I know I'm in the world making a difference. I know that I can help people make more money. I know that I can get them healthy and they can have great relationships. Like, I am so fired up to share Isagenix each and every day. I know these things. And when you are enthusiastic and show your heart, people want to join you. They want to know what you got going on.
I just want to hit on one thing now, and we're going to continue on the stories, but think about this. When Kayla dipped into that deep moment for a second and started to cry a second, did everybody just all of a sudden lean in? Everybody leaned in.
Because we were rooting for her. Come on, Kayla.
So that's
this.
what you want in your 30-second story. You want to dip into that moment, but you want to be able to pull out of that moment. They say you want to bring it here, dive it in, and then pull it back out to happiness. So she just needed to pull it back. Hope. You know?
Pull it out.
There you go.
Yeah.
But we all leaned in. That's what Debbie's talking about. You got to dip into the pain. Once she dipped into that pain and started crying, everybody leaned in.
Yeah, everybody did. I was watching everybody's like.
One thing I would like to add to, there's so many women out there that are suffering how I did as far as body shaming and looking in the mirror as far as, oh my gosh, this looks horrible, or that looks horrible. I look horrible in a bikini, whatever it is. I don't have to focus on that anymore and what I'm putting into my body, because I know what I'm getting. I now can focus on the things that actually matter. And so many women especially are looking for diets and cleanses and all these unhealthy things, that they're looking for something so they can actually focus on the things that they want to focus on. And that's what I'm so grateful for, is being able to actually enjoy life and not having to revolve my life around food and my relationship with food all the time, because it's exhausting. It's so exhausting and so stressful that I know that I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way as far as the stress of, oh, I can't have that. Oh, I can't eat that. And that's being able to let that go and just being able to eat when I want and what I want, and enjoying it without the shame or the guilt, because that's where it happens when we go off our diet. There's no more shame and guilt in what I'm eating, because I know what I have outside of with Isagenix. I don't have to shame myself because I know I have this. So it's just, that's what I was trying to say.
That's awesome. That was, and that word, exhausting. Think of the words you're using, guys. Think of the words, because exhausting, that gets my attention. Wait, you're exhausted? Because I remember coming home split shift, teaching a gazillion classes and listening to people complain about whatever they're complaining about while I'm kicking their butts in class, right? I remember that exhausted. I was just exhausted. I had nothing left for my family. Like, these kinds of words are what's going to help people relate and want to listen to even what we have. So thank you, Kayla. Thank you, everybody. All right. So who thinks that they have tapped into that and wants to share?
1 minute, 30 seconds, 1 minute, minute and a half type
All
story.
right. I've got Roy. Who else do I have? Hang on, Roy. Who else do I have? You know what? I got 2 screens. I got to go through my screens.
And try to keep it. Remember, we're practicing, so try to keep it at that. Here you go, one right here. Try to keep it at
Who do I have?
a minute.
Oh, I know I've got Chris. I'm probably going to end with Mr. Chris Harville. Yeah. And then who else do we have? So we have Roy. We have Chris.
I just did that because I'm doing it.
And I'll do it once.
Okay. So
Dee said she'll go.
And Becky. And Dee. Okay. Perfect. Roy, I'm going to have you go first. I'm unmuting you. There you go.
30 seconds.
So this is just the part 2 that we're talking about again?
No, give me your one.
Real?
Yep.
So my background, I was a combat search and rescue swimmer in the Navy from 1989 to 93. I've been a personal trainer, massage therapist, and nutritionist for a better part of 7 years when I was in San Diego. I'm currently a certified health coach, and I run an outreach program for veterans and first responders. What I didn't like about my situation is after a lifetime of being physically fit and being healthy, I got into truck driving in 2012. And over a period of 5 years, I gained, with truck driving, I gained 95 pounds of unwanted weight. I developed a hiatal hernia and Barrett's esophagus and had to get off the road for health reasons. I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I felt. I didn't want to go on living. And actually in 2013, I was suicidal and I had suicidal intentions. I was getting counseling, and through fate, I ran into some mind-body therapy programs that helped me literally profoundly change my life. And what Isagenix has done for me is it's kind of compounded on top of the mind-body therapy programs that I'm working with now. And it's giving me my health back. It's giving me my energy back. It's giving me my stamina back. It's giving me a drive and a passion and a purpose to go out and do what I want to do. And that's help other people literally become the best version of themselves that they can be. And I love doing this because I can do it on a global, I can do it anywhere around the globe that I want. And I just absolutely love it. So I help people not only their physical and their mental health, but I can also help them with their financial health.
Nice. Boom.
Mic drop. Awesome. That was awesome. Now, Roy, didn't know any of that about you. See, what's good about this Zoom while we're practicing 30-second stories is we got to collect stories. We're story collectors, right? To relate to people, because we don't, Monique and I might tell her my story and she's like, so what? I don't really care. But she might really care about Roy's story or Kayla's story, right? So we're story collectors. It's so important to show up to your team meetings because you learn more about your team. And so Roy, thank you for that. That was really good. We have to be so careful about details, which you didn't give us too many. You know what I mean? But had you given that story, and I'm just going to use this for an example for everybody else, had you given that story and gave us a timeline that went, and then 3 months in, and then in 4 months, and then in 6 months, and then in 87, and then in 2020, and then in, like, you gave us all those details, it would have lost your story in the details. So sometimes we talk too much and we tell too many details. And if you're not a person that takes instruction with a lot of details, then you're out. You check out. But Roy, you had the perfect amount of details, like you da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and you hit, like, you said words like hate, how you looked, and you said suicidal, and that caught it. Everybody went, what? Like, you used to rescue people, so that was so well balanced. So thank you for that. And I can tell you practiced that before, but thank you. That was good. That was good. And just because I'm praising Roy doesn't mean the other stories weren't great too. I'm just saying how he formatted it. I want us all to, like, I'm looking at Roy going, I need to rewrite my story. But don't compare yourself, because we all have different stories. Just lean in and listen to everybody's story. So thank you, Roy. All right, I'm gonna go with Becky. I'm gonna go with you next. I'm gonna unmute you. I thought I was gonna unmute you. It's not letting me unmute you. You unmute you. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, everyone. So I worked in corporate America most of my life as a administrative assistant, and I ended up my job as a high-level office manager until my boss decided to lay me off and take away my livelihood. What I didn't like about that was I didn't own my own time, which took a toll on my health, and I was not happy.
Wait, you muted. I don't know how you muted. You muted. There you go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe I touched my computer. So what I didn't, did you hear that I was a high-level office man? Okay, sorry.
Just didn't like.
Yeah. Take two. What I didn't like about that was I didn't own my own time, which took a toll on my health, and I was not happy. I was exhausted constantly. I couldn't even find a new job to go and continue on with my misery, right? Because that was my mindset back then. Now I'm so excited that I have a solution in Isagenix. I now feel so amazing. I'm getting such great sleep and my energy is off the chart just by taking some awesome supplements and great nutrition. My friends are commenting on my positivity and they like my outlook of life. And they always ask me how I always have so much energy and do what I do. And I'm so excited that I get to help others, that I get to start helping others with their health and wealth as well.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Very good. Okay. Let's move on. And Lori. Where are you, Lori? Let's see if I can. There you are.
There I am. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. So I've been with corporate America for over 25 years in the medical and healthcare technology arena in sales. And my last position, I was covering half of the United States and just running myself ragged, also working on some international deals. And I really ran my health into the ground. That was in conjunction with a really bad injury that ultimately led to having a massive neck surgery. And from there forward, I could not regain my health. And I had dabbled in these products about 3.5 years ago, didn't have any interest in the business, but I've always been an extremely healthy, clean, organic eater, my supplements. I just could not regain my health. So I circled back the end of last year with Jennifer Traintner, and I thought, I'm going to give this system a shot. And because I was so sick to death of my industry and really was losing the passion because I was not able to help people directly, I got on the system and it's made a difference, a big difference in my health. And so the solution that I found in Isagenix is that, A, I first and foremost have improved my own health, but B, by taking on this as a business, I can help take that out to other people. And that really has always been my passion, to be able to help people. That was why I went into the healthcare and medical field. That was part of my college background, but I also like being around people and being in the sales industry. So I jumped on the sales side of it. And so now I have an opportunity to take more control of my life, which I didn't have with corporate. I was at their whim, and I just didn't like all the corporate BS that went along with it. And now I can dictate my own life, put in what I need and want. And I'm very passionate about putting it all in. I actually turned down an opportunity recently because I made the decision to go 110% with Isagenix to be able to directly help people.
Perfect. That's so good. That's so good. So that's gonna, that's gonna have people lean in when you say I decided to go 110% in with Isagenix. So you might want to put that up in your story a little bit, somewhere up a little bit higher. I chose to go 110% with Isagenix because I found, because that's a trigger for me. She decided to drop everything she was doing. She's got a college degree, like all that stuff's going on in their head. So you might want to hit that a little bit harder, wrap that book in that somewhere else also, because that's very interesting if that makes sense or if that feels good. See, everybody's tapping into, thank you. Everybody's tapping into their heart. Now, after Lori, I had Dee, but I think I'm going to go ahead and slip in somebody else. Just because she's so cute in her glasses, Lisa. Lisa Brannon. I'm going to unmute you. Oh, I can't. You got to unmute you. Lisa Brannon, unmute you. I'm going to have her slip into her 30-second. Thank you.
My dog's barking, so I'm going to try and get this in.
Okay.
I do need my glasses on. Okay, so I'm a single mom, and I've been struggling for endless years to try and make ends meet to support my family. I worked so hard going back to school continuously to increase my education, and then still found myself living paycheck to paycheck. And at the age of 50, I found myself with absolutely no financial plan and needing to work well into old age just to support my family. Then I found Isogenics, and I started to see that I had a financial future, that I had a way to make money and provide for my family, and a security for my family. So now I'm planning to retire in the next few years and pursue my passion and travel and explore the world.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thank you. Okay. So
That was
Lisa.
a financial story. That was
So
good.
yeah, it's a financial story. I love it. So how was this feel? I'm going to throw this out there, and maybe I'm making up stuff because, you know.
No, you know me. You know me.
I know you, and I know you're RN. So
I have a weight loss story too.
I know yes, good. But you must have your background. You didn't let the rest of everybody know you're an RN. I'm an RN. So with being an RN, you have to continually keep your license up. You have to continue your education points, correct? Or whatever they're called.
Well, I guess I could have started saying I was an elementary school teacher and then went back to school to become a nurse to continue. So I could add that in.
Yes. So you want to start with that, and maybe somewhere in your story weave in what I found with Isogenics. You know, here I am thinking I'm in healthcare, but I'm not. I'm in sick care, and now I'm in healthcare. But part of that health is having a retirement plan for me. I'm 50 years old. I have no retirement plan, and I've been a single mom. So what am I going to do? Of course I'm going to do Isogenics because I have healthier options for people that really need it. And now I have a solution for my retirement. Like, you can throw that in there because people, baby boomers, hi, I'm a baby boomer. We want to know that we've got retirement. I want to know that I'm taken care of, that I'm not going to be a detriment to my family. Like, I'm not going to be, what's that word called? I'm not going to be an obligation, a burden. I'm not going to be a burden to my family. I'm going to make my own money so I can put in my trust. This is how I get treated because I have money to pay for it. Right? So it's really important. And speaking of baby boomers, they want to know, wait, so you're making money for what? Retirement? Okay, hang on a second. I want to know about this, you know? So that's great. That's the only things that I would just kind of tap into those.
Sounds good.
It's really good. Thank you. Okay, D. Ha ha!
Yeah, the director's in the house here.
Whoa, respect.
So before Isogenics, I am a director for the Department of Homeless Services here in New York. I'm a manager, so my department is compliance and quality control and outreach. I have a master's degree in public administration, so I have kind of been able to move through the ranks, but I found myself kind of hitting a glass ceiling a little bit. Social services is not you're not going to make $1 million working in social services and helping people, the homeless, whatever field in social services you work in. I got pregnant. Frankie and I had our first baby, and I gained 100 pounds. I lost some of the weight. We decided to have our second. Along came our little cutie pie, and I gained another 30 pounds without having lost all of the first 100. So here we were, I had 2 kids. I was still on maternity leave, and I was feeling disgusting. I've always kind of tried to be in the gym, always, love my sexy heels. I always like to feel good and feel sexy and be out there, with my hubby and just living our lives, traveling, going out, dancing, hanging out. Like we're living our best life. And all of a sudden I was stay-at-home mom. I was much heavier. My clothes weren't fitting. My shoes nothing was fitting. And I started feeling really just kind of down and not like myself. The confidence that I've kind of always had, the way I carry myself, I wasn't the same person. And, I would cry to my husband about it. And he, of course, was like, you still look sexy, beautiful. And I just wasn't feeling it myself. So when he started this whole Isogenics journey, I was like, all right, I'm going to jump on the wagon with you. I found myself having more energy, feeling better about myself as my clothes were starting to fit more. I started feeling more like who I used to be. And for me, that was like priceless, because like I said, I took pride in who I was, and I'm always been super confident. So this new person that I had become after becoming a mom was someone I didn't recognize and that I didn't like. And so now I've made time to start going back to the gym, and just the energy that I have from using Isagenix, and the determination that I have to kind of reach my goals, and seeing the people around us succeed. And like Frankie was saying earlier, just being in a community of people that are like striving for better, and trying to change the world, and change themselves and be better people. It has really motivated me to want to do the same thing. I tried other programs before, and this is something that I've, every time I speak to someone and I start talking about the program, I've tried other things and I've never been a fan. And when I tell people that I know these shakes actually taste good, they believe me, because they know that I've tried things, and they know that I'm a hard sell. So I've just been enjoying the journey, and I'm getting there slowly. I've lost, I think, 30 pounds so far on Isagenix. And my goal is another 30. So I'm getting there. Feel good.
Great job.
That is so good. Okay. So Dee, I was taking notes, because I was taking notes when everybody was talking, and 2 words that hit me and got my attention. 2 words. And this is why maybe as you English as a tool. Oh, where'd you guys go? English as a tool, right? We have more words than awesome, and that's cool, right? And Dee had 2 words they're definitely triggers that I go, what? She said disgusting. Now, disgusting really, kind of makes you go, ooh, disgusting. I know what disgusting feels like, right? I also know what sexy feels like. So she said, right? She said those 2 words, and I'm like, okay, now I got to lean in, because she said disgusting and she said sexy. And then the other thing that she said, the key sentence that she said was who I used to be. Or wait, I don't know if you said that, but you said you didn't know who you became, right? Afterwards, but you wanted to be who you used to be. And so these are great triggers right here, because I had, for a while, I had searched in my life. I can remember a couple times that I was feeling less than myself. And I used to say, I just want to find myself back to happy. I got to get back to happy, right? And so when she was talking about that and who I used to be, I totally related to that. Who I used to be, and even better now. And then self-love is what she's discovered now, right? She's self-loved. She's going to the gym. So even just talking about that, how she said she didn't say self-love, but that's what I felt, and that's what I heard. And then I heard, there was a loathing, because she didn't like who she was, and loathing is a very good word that we can use, right? And then Dee, wow, you are like, you're credentialed, girl. So as you move on in your story, adding any monetary gain is really important, because you're working where you're not going to be making $1 million, because you're working, sounds like your heart in social services, and your heart is helping homeless, or you wouldn't be there, because you're not going to be somewhere where you're not going to make $1 million and hating your job, I would hope. However, you're working with the homeless in a job that you're not going to make $1 million. But with Isagenix, you can make as many millions as you want to make, and you can give back to homeless, if that's your heart. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you can add that into your story too. So you guys can, I'm just using these examples. I'm throwing them out, not saying you have to do it. You should have done it. When I'm talking with everybody here, I'm just kind of giving you another side, my perspective, how you could say it, how you could make me lean in even more, how you can really connect with people that you're talking to. And why is it a 30-second story? And of course, we didn't time anybody tonight, because you've got 30 seconds to catch somebody's attention. So you want to be using the words that are going to catch their attention, right? And so we're going to end tonight with a couple of the masters of the universe. I'm not sure which master of the universe that I'm going to use first. Which master should I use first? Mr. Chris Harbell? Okay, so thank you, Dee. And thank you, everybody that's been sharing. And I'm really excited, because this will be loaded onto our team website, which is isabestdu.com, where you got onto the Zoom, right? we add these into YouTube, and you will be able to re-listen and share these stories with people. So, Mr. Chris Harville, without further ado.
So, just real quick, all these stories are awesome, man. They're big time. And I'm a big softie, so I'm emotional now. Thank you all. But I was in an elevator the other day, and Amanda was in there, somebody I don't know. So my 30-second story is really always dictated by the people that I'm talking to. So this was a real easy one. Then I'm going to go into another one. But she was telling her friend how tired she was. You know, you're in an elevator. She's talking about, this is elevator speech, right? And I overheard her telling her friend how tired and exhausted she was. And they were busy. They were fixing to go into it's like a doctor's office maybe. I don't know where they were going. But there was no time to talk. And I said, hey, I overheard you telling your friend how tired and exhausted you were. I felt the exact same way. I found a way to beat that. I found a way to get all my energy back, and I loved it so much I ended up going full time with it. Do you mind if I give you my business card? And we can chat about it later. I'll tell you my story. And we're texting now. So that was just a real quick intro and a quick 10-second story that I broke into. And you guys know that's big for me because I don't like talking to people. I don't like, I'm just uncomfortable with that, but it was super easy. So with you guys, I would do a 30-second story. I'm talking to several people here that like to help people. They like business and they want to lose weight. So here's my 30-second to you is that, hey, I'm Chris. I used to be I was 25 years in the car business. I hated every second of it. I was overtired, overworked. I was fat. I was inflamed. I felt terrible. I ended up getting out. I had no idea what I was going to do, but I know I had to get out. Fortunately, I found this product in Isagenix. I lost all my weight, lost 4 or 5 sizes in my belt, and now I'm making a living sharing it with people that need energy. They need sleep. They need to lose weight. They just want to feel better. And one thing that I know is that for people like you, some of you want to lose weight. I'd love to share my story with you. And some of you just love to help people. And there's an unlimited number of people that you can help. And some of you want to make money, and there's unlimited money out there. And I'd love to share my story with you.
Wow.
Kabam. That's good. And in his story, what I heard, even though he didn't say it, is he had to get out of his industry to save his own life.
Yes.
So much, right?
Yes.
That's great. All these stories are so, I just like, I could go on all night, and I know we won't because I know we're already over, but you guys, every single one of you that has shared and every single one of you that hasn't shared, I know that you will be sharing very soon. And so I just, again, want to thank everybody. And I just love I just love you all so much. I want to squeeze you. Okay, Mr. Bam Bam,
Okay.
you're on.
I don't have nothing scripted. To tell my story, before Isagenix, I've been married to a beautiful woman for 41 years now. At 17 years old, and I was always running on scarcity mode. I knew I had to provide for my family, had children right away, and right off the get-go, my wife and son got in a terrible car accident, paralyzed my son, and it really almost lost both of them. It sort of hit me hard as a young man, and I ran on scarcity, knowing I had to provide for my family. And I got into it. I got into the film industry, and I was working monster hours. I mean, I spent 36 years in that industry and working 18 hours, even on equipment, and just no time at all. And I got into exercising real heavy. Martial arts, it was a way I could vent, knowing my son and all this situation was. And then in my 50s, all of a sudden my wife got diagnosed with a tumor in the end of her pancreas. And that's when Isagenix came into our life. And I blew up from in shape to I gained 60 pounds. I was in the worst shape of my life. I cried to work, thinking this is what life dealt me. I didn't know what to do. And I watched these transformations happen around my wife. Not only her transformation happened of getting good nutrition in her body, but the people she got to help. And she said she was going to do this as a business because helping people and from her heart. And that's when I raised my hand, because I thought, you know what? I need it. I'm 60 pounds heavier, and I kept trying and trying. My story is I dropped 28 pounds the first month. I dropped a total of 60 pounds in 4 months, a 38-inch waist to a 31-inch waist. I'm in the best shape of my life. And my wife stood up at an event and said that she doesn't want me to work to die. In the film industry, 36 years, people retire after putting in their time. They have 2 years left. And she said, this is all about helping people. And I had my transformation. I was unstoppable. I just wanted everybody to feel the way I feel. And so I just want you to feel the way I feel. And my wife, we put our heads down and we just realized all we got to do is open up wholesale accounts for people. We get paid to unlimited depths. I can get out of that industry that I wanted, that I hate so much. And I want to spend time with my family and be with my kids and family. And we did it. And we've been able to bless people all over the world now, physically, and for those that wanted to participate in the business financially. And my wife was right. She retired me 12 and a half years early, 5 years ago now. And we became 7-figure income earners in this company, millionaires number 220, 244. And I want this for each and every one of you. I want to bless you physically and or financially if you want. If you're open to let me send you some information, I'd love to do that, please. Boom.
Okay, I'm in. Here's my credit card. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
He kind of combined his health and his financial together.
Yeah. Well, if you,
Right?
you know what? If you have both, combine them. If you have a blessing in your life, physically, go bless some people. Don't hold it back. Share it. If you have a financial, if you made $1,000 with Isagenix, you're making $500 a month extra. You're making $1,000 extra. You're making $2,000. That can change somebody's life. You get an extra $2,000 a month, and I can say, you know, sky's your limit. You can make $50,000 a month. I can sit here and tell you it's possible because we did it. So wherever you want, but everybody gets to start out as a product user. Let's go.
Let's go.
See, so those are just stories. You can make it, like Chris said, you figure out who you're talking to and you look at the pain that they have and you attach where you are at to their pain. If I'm looking at somebody that's completely overweight, exhausted, overweight, I'm not going to talk to them about more work. I'm not going to talk to them about a job. I'm going to talk to them about feeling good and getting their weight off. I'm not going to talk about business. My story changes. Your story changes to whoever you're talking with. But my story can be powerful because now the way I feel at 59, I'll be 60 this year. The way I feel, that's the key word, the way I feel and the way I used to feel sucked. You got to dig deep into it. I know how Chris Harvell felt. Slipping up against the wall financially. I knew what to talk to that guy about. You know what I mean? So there you go.
All right, you guys, again, thank you so much for playing Full Out. When you go to University in Action, David T.S. Woods requires that everybody raises their hand and agrees that they'll play 100% out. And that means staying focused and doing the drills. And you all did the drills tonight, and we so appreciate each and every one of you. And that's going to show up in your Isagenix business. When you play Full Out with your team, then you're going to play Full Out in your business, and then there's nothing left but abundance for everyone. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and unmute.
Great call. Great job,
Everybody's
guys.
unmuted.
Unmute
yourself. Phoebe's going to give a 1, 2, 3 Isagenix.
Okay.
I'll see most of you at KO. And next Monday.
And wait, tomorrow night, invite your guests. Invite your guests to the Zoom because we're going to have 3 financials. We're going to have Chris Harvell, who's the financial. Anna Brown's going to talk about the weight loss. And then we're going to have.
We can't hear you.
Okay, here we go. 2, 3. That's it,
Good night.
See you guys.
Bye.
I don't know how to shut it. I never know how to shut this thing. Like I can.
Good night. I see you afterwards.
How?
How you?
Back to meeting.
All right.
How do we leave? Leave.